Out at recess, there are so many choices of what to play. There are sports games like soccer, football, or kickball. There are tag games where you run and chase. There are even made-up games with soldiers or fairies or spies or kings and queens or puppies. No matter what you choose to play, there is one simple rule that is true for every game. The game can never get too fast, too silly, or too rough. What does this mean? Well, let's break it down. What does it mean if a game is too fast? Too fast means that a game is not safe anymore because kids' arms, legs, or playground equipment is out of control from being too fast. Sure, it's okay to run. Some of you can run really fast, and that's great. But if arms and legs are swinging around really fast, if balls are being whipped super fast when other people are around, or if bodies are jumping off of places and coming down fast without looking, someone else could get hurt. What about the next one? What does it mean if a game is too silly? Too silly means that your body or your equipment is getting wild or out of control. Of course it's okay to have fun out at recess. That's the whole reason we go out to recess. But too silly isn't fun for everyone anymore. Ask yourself, could someone get hurt if I'm doing this? If the answer is yes, then you might be doing something that is too silly. Last but not least, a game can never get too rough. This one is simple. Any action that tries to stop or hurt someone else is too rough. This means no hitting, no kicking, no throwing someone down, no tackling, no pushing, no grabbing, or anything else like that. Even if the other person did it first, we don't do it. Even if the other person is not following the rules of the game, we don't do it. Even if we're mad or frustrated, we don't do it. Now, sometimes a game might get carried away. Do you know what that means? Carried away is when everyone who is playing is thinking so much about the game that they forget how to be safe. They forget that a game should never get too fast, too silly, or too rough. And before you know it, someone is getting hurt or someone is almost about to get hurt. What do you do then? If you see that a game is getting carried away and it's about to get too fast, too silly, or too rough, you call a time out. Say, time out, we're getting too fast. Or, time out, we're getting too silly. Or, time out, we're getting too rough. If you hear someone say this in the game you are playing, do you ignore it or keep playing? Of course you don't keep playing. If someone has called a timeout for being too fast, too silly, or too rough, stop and think. Does this game need a new rule? Do we all need to slow down and be more safe? And yes, sometimes you need to leave a game if it's still being too fast, too silly, or too rough. That's okay. Better safe than sorry. Thanks for having fun and being safe out on the playground.